okay, it's been left to the readers to decide which is a huge crowd. They don't say which one it is. On the front page of Daily Nation there, on the top strip, they have what is happening in Kitengela and what happened in Tononoka with just the leadership there. Now the Standard has done 2 pages, front page and back page. On the front page, Sifuna roars. On the back page, ODM deemed. Do you think the media is overplaying this, or is just the reality that in as far as perception is concerned, the bigger your crowd, you're the winner?
You know, Kenyan media, just like any other media across the world, has its agenda. And, you know, the agenda of the media depends on, you know, the ownership of the media, the target group, who the advertisers are, and so many other things. And, you know, the political interests that they may be serving. And, you know, looking at some of this, I was looking at the headlines in the morning, for instance, the Standard headline, and looking at the headlines they have carried, the alarmist headlines they have carried. Clearly, they're pushing a narrative. Mm-hmm. And you see, as they say that, they're not answering who was in Kitengela, okay? Who was in Tononoka? Okay, the question is, are the crowds that have been mobilized into a spectacle capable of making decisions within political parties? Are they able to turn into votes? And I keep warning people, don't, you know, in the height of the Gen Z protests, I remember telling certain young people that if you guys are not careful and don't get into these institutions, you will be left out in the streets. And indeed, when, you know, the big boys then sat down to agree on how to share power, the Gen Z were not on that table. Mm-hmm. And these are the same Gen Z that, you know, mobilizing them into a spectacle is very important. So somebody decides to, I'm told they call it form, to have a form in Diani. and all of them take the SGR into Diani. Then another day, you know, the president's son has launching a matatu, just a single matatu, and mobilizes on social media. And they are all it found me in the CBD, and I thought there was riots. Mm-hmm. When I went there, they were celebrating a single matatu being mobilized. So it is an interesting thing. It is interesting to be young. I was once at that stage. They have the advantage that, you know, they have this social media. But unless it is turned into institutions, and they are able to make decisions within institutions, mm-hmm. and they are able to then turn the crowds into votes, and these votes are turned into the ballot box, this thing will always dissipate.
But don't you think that if anyone then manages to capture that and convert it into votes, that will actually be a game changer?
It doesn't just happen as easily as that. You know, the young people that you saw with the one old man, Orengo, in Kitengela will have capability. There is always a desire, but then the question is, do they have the capability? Okay. Politics is expensive. It takes resources. It takes structures. It takes institutions. Do they have that? They don't have that. For instance, I keep telling people that Orengo can make a lot of noise in the streets of Kitengela, but most likely he's losing elections in Siaya.
Talking about Orengo,
yes.
He's been there before. He's one of those, back in the 90s, the young tax. Yeah. We saw him on top of vehicles. He's definitely a politician who has experience. He's seen something in these young people. Can we really dismiss a politician of such stature?
Orengo is not reading the time. Orengo is a governor. Is not an activist anymore, okay? He has certain responsibilities upon which the Siaya people will measure him. They will not measure him depending on the noise he has made at Kitengela. They will measure him in terms of the roads he has built, the hospitals he has put up, the services to the people in terms of sewerage and the support to agriculture. So my view is that that cannot help Orengo in Siaya. In fact, you realize that the entire the entire county assembly is pulling on a different line. You saw them, the entire assembly visiting the president in Eldoret. That tells you that Orengo is not sitting pretty. Probably by appearing in these Gen Z, forums, wanting to explain the difficulties that he's experiencing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd want to comment on the position that James Orengo currently is holding there in this new grouping. He, as he said, is the only old man